Out of here, but we fix to get started back. Did everybody have a good lunch and enjoy their barbecue? All right, good. Good. All right. If I can have your attention, please. Can I have your attention? All right, everybody listen up. We're going to get started back with our speaking. Our first speaker is going to be another candidate for governor. Mr. Robert Foster is running on the Republican ticket for governor. So let's welcome him up.
All right. I'm glad everybody got to eat something. Now y'all won't be worried about eating while y'all can listen to me real quick. I just want to tell you a little bit about my background first. I'm a small business owner and a farmer from Hernando. The last 14 years, I have been building up a agritourism business over there. And what that means is we grow crops. We grow blueberries, blackberries, pumpkins, and Christmas trees. And people bring their children and grandchildren out to our farm to pick those crops. They learn about agriculture while they're there, and they have a lot of fun doing it. We have hay rides and pony rides and a petting zoo and a big barn where we host corporate picnics, family reunions, weddings, receptions, all types of functions, and do all the catering for everything. We've got a corn maze in the fall, and we have Santa at the farm during Christmas for everybody to visit with. And I didn't invent any of that. People have been growing Christmas trees for a long time. They've had you-pick berry farms and event facilities. But what I did do is I went to people that were experts in those things, that have been growing Christmas trees or berries or hosting events for 20, 30, 40 years, and I learned from people that were the best at what they did so that I didn't have to reinvent the wheel and make all the same mistakes that they had already made all their years of building their businesses up. And I put all those different ideas of agritourism together into one business model. And I've built that business up now over the last 14 years to the point that I had 99 W-2 employees last year, and I had an additional 50 plus seasonal part-time workers at my business. We had over 50,000 people come through my farm just during my fall pumpkin patch and corn maze season. So it's grown into quite a large operation over the last 14 years. And I went down and ran for state representative 4 years ago. And I went down to Jackson. And I like to joke and say I messed up and won, because when I got to Jackson, my eyes were opened wide to why we are where we are economically in this state. And a lot of it is because of policies that we have in place that keep our economy in last place. Because we've got one of the best locations for commerce in the United States of America. We've got the Tom Bigby in the northeast. We've got a huge interstate crossroads in the northwest where I'm from. We've got all the commerce of the mighty Mississippi, and we've got some amazing ports on the Gulf Coast. We've got some of the hardest working, most God-fearing people in the nation living right here in the state of Mississippi. They just need an opportunity. And there's some common sense business things that we need to do to get our economy to grow. One of those is we need to reform our education system. We got off track a long time ago when we put everybody on this one-track path to college, because everybody's not meant to go to college. We need to put VOTEC and Career Tech back into every single high school in this state. We need to give our children the opportunity to get an education and skilled trade. They need to learn how to weld, plumb, HVAC, electrical, carpentry, mechanics, computer programming. We need to give them the opportunity to learn a trade where they can get out into the real world and earn a good living. Because as a small business owner, I can tell you, we're not teaching them how to work anymore, and it's a real problem. Unless their parents or grandparents taught them how to work, they can't even push a broom when they graduate high school, much less do something of value to society other than take a test. And we need to fix that. And we can fix that. The second thing I'm proposing is to fix our economy from the ground up. It's our tax structure, everybody. We have one of the worst rated tax structures in the United States of America for growing business and industry. We overtax the working people in our state, and we run successful people out of our state. We need to look at states like Tennessee, Texas, and Florida at how they have their tax structures. They are growing economically very, very fast. They have very, very strong local economies as well. It's because their tax structures are ranked in the top 20 for business friendliness. Ours is ranked in the bottom 20, down with California, New York, and New Jersey. We are ranked 31 of 50 right now for business and industry taxation in the United States of America. And that is why our economy is not growing the way it should. What I'm proposing that we do would move us to the top 20 like Tennessee, Texas, and Florida. It would reduce the tax burden on the working class, and it would spread it out amongst everybody in our state. The more you use, the more you pay. You would repeal the personal income tax. And you would go up slightly on the gas tax and the sales tax, just like they have in those states. But the more you buy, the more you pay. And everybody in our state would be paying their fair share. If you're selling drugs on the street corner, you're not going to pay income tax, but you're going to pay your fair share when you go to the gas pump and when you go to the store. If you're here illegally and you hadn't got caught and thrown out yet, you're going to pay your fair share when you go to the store and the gas pump, but they're not going to pay income tax. And if you're living off the federal government and you're not working when you should be, you're not going to pay income tax, but you're going to pay your fair share when you're riding around on the roads and buying gas tax. And so that's why it's working so much better in those other states, and that's why we have to do that if we're ever going to have the money that we need to fix our roads, our bridges, and fund our schools and our police stations and our fire stations the way that we need to. It's the only solution. It's a more conservative tax policy. It's less percent taxation on the working people of our state, and it puts the burden on everybody. The more they use, the more they pay. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And that's why those states are growing so much faster than us, and it's what we need to do here. The last thing I want to mention is why I decided to run for governor after only one term as a state representative, because everybody wants to know, why not wait 8 years or 16 years or 20 years until you have more political capital, until your name's out there more, until you've got more campaign finances? Well, I can tell you very quickly, after being there 4 years, part of the problem we face in Mississippi is we keep putting career politicians in charge of our state, and we continue to have the same results over and over and over again. And I didn't want to run when I was owing anybody anything, because I don't owe anybody anything. I haven't taken any campaign contributions with any strings attached to it. The only promise I've made is the same one that I'll make to you here today, that if you will honor me with your vote on August 6th in the Republican primary for governor, that I will put God first in everything that I do, and I will do it as in the best interest of all Mississippians. May God bless these United States, and may God bless this great state of Mississippi. Thank you.